everyone, it's Brandy from Brandy Burrow Astrology, back with Ellie Adams. Hi, Ellie.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's been a bit since I've recorded for my channel. But yeah, I thought we needed to do an emergency episode.
An update.
An update, because yes. I don't even know where to begin. So we're recording this Friday, June 28th, 2024.
About the shit show last night.
Last night, yeah, if you happen to watch the debate, yeah, I have no words. And so, okay, so I'm watching this debate and I'm like, me and Ellie, we did an episode about the election a couple times.
Yes.
And going from memory, I probably need to rewatch it, but like we were like looking at Joe Biden, we're looking at the other guy, we're looking at the charts, and we're like, okay, I've always felt like Joe Biden's a one-term president from the loosing of the bond in itself, which is a zodiacal releasing technique. He looks one-termer, but like we're kind of looking at things going on in his chart, and we just could not see him winning. Am I right?
No, it didn't look like he was winning. It also didn't look like the other guy was either.
Yeah. And so we were like, what is this? It doesn't, we looked at Kamala Harris. She's kind of got some beneficial aspects going on to her astrology.
Mm-hmm.
So, this has kind of been in the background. Like, what does this mean? We don't see either of them. And then the debate happens, and, I think like generally we kind of were all worried about Biden as far as like age. Can he do another term, even if it is possible? And then the debate happens, and it's like it's worse than we thought.
Yeah, it's very clear that it's like, Houston, we have a fucking problem.
Yeah, like I knew it was bad, but I didn't know this was going on. Like I feel for him. Like it was just
there's nothing funny about and that kind, this kind of, when I watch, I'll be honest, when I watch debates, I watch it to because they're usually such a shit show, right? But I they're like my reality TV, I'll be honest. that is what but this was not funny. This was not,
it was painful.
This was painful. This was watching, in my opinion, this was watching somebody who has mentally declined. Clearly there is something not right. And I was reading comments about this online, this debate afterwards, and somebody made the comment that it was almost like elder abuse. And that sounds really dramatic, but there is a part of, and I doubt Biden would agree with me on that, right? Because he wants to be up there, but there is something that does feel kind of abusive about having him up there.
Yeah. And it felt like what we were seeing, this is just my opinion here, but it wasn't like a slow decline due to age. It feels like there's something kind of like I called it a steep decline, like something has changed. And I don't mean this funny at all. But when I was watching it, I was talking to my husband, I'm like, this kind of reminds me, like, I know like a lot of us have had a grandparent who kind of gets to a certain point where they can't drive or they shouldn't be driving. And you have to have that conversation about taking the keys away, or like, you can't drive. I feel like that's where we're at. Like, you can't be doing this because like, and I don't want to make this like a big political discussion, but like, this is, if he doesn't step down or if someone else doesn't run, it really looks like it's going in a direction where other guy could maybe win.
Yeah. And yeah.
But that's just
other guy is off his fucking rocker. I mean,
right. And yeah, but we're watching the debate, and the other guy is not telling anything truthful, but is being articulate, right? Like,
yes, he is. Yes.
Yeah. But we'll go back to the astrology here. What I wanted to do is, like, after we saw that, it was like, let's go back, look at Joe Biden's astrology, see where the transits are now, kind of get an update. and let's see where things are going. So,
We should
and also
we should also link the previous videos that we've done about, just because I don't even remember everything we said.
I don't either, because we were just kind of looking at the chart. So we'll link the other videos, and yeah, and someone probably will comment. I should say Joe Biden's team has said he had a cold.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll put that there because they said he wasn't well.
And that, and yeah, I'm not saying that's not the case. It very well could be the case. Maybe he does have a cold. But the way he was walking, the way he was speaking, the look through his eyes, this was not a cold. What
Didn't
this
seem like it.
is, I mean, he very well could have a cold too, but there's something else going on more than a cold.
Well, you know how it is. Like when you have a cold, like, no, you do not show up 100%, but you're usually like 60, 70. Like, you're like,
yeah,
it was more severe than that.
Yeah, this felt like something beyond just being under the weather and not at 100%.
Yeah.
This was something else.
Yeah. So in saying that, let's kind of go with his chart. We'll start there. And it always takes me a minute to find out where we're at. Okay. So here is Joe Biden's birth chart in the middle. And then I actually put the timestamp for the debate when it started last night. Just kind of see what's going on. I know what I see here that's real concerning, but what gets your attention first here, Ellie?
What was going to say, and I didn't look at this one. I looked at the ones I sent you before, but I didn't look at this one. What perfection year is he in?
So he's in, I'll look it up while we're discussing.
How old is he? He's what? I can't do math.
So this year he'll be 82.
Okay, so he's 81. So what is that like? Shit. I have to go around. I'll be like 0 to 12, 24.
Sagittarius math.
48, 60.
I know. No, I'm going to look it up. I'm pulling it up. It just took me, for some reason, his chart like disappeared off my software. I was doing readings today, so it kind of had to pull it back up. Okay, so perfection year, he's 81. He's in the Virgo Mercury perfection year, 10th house, which makes sense.
Very public year, or has the potential to be a public year anyway. That makes that Mercury conjunct Jupiter stand out. I know it's a fast transit, but it does make it stand out here.
Absolutely. It's fast, but it definitely applied for what was going on last night.
Yes, it did.
Here's what concerns me. And so with astrology, I want to put out, like, you cannot predict things like death with astrology. You can kind of see events happening. So I'm in no way predicting anything like that. I wouldn't do it for anyone, especially not doing that with Joe Biden. But I will say, what concerns me is his chart ruler is Jupiter, because he's for those kind of new to astrology, he's a Sagittarius rising, and Sag is ruled by Jupiter. So that would be the chart ruler. The transiting Jupiter is in Gemini in a detriment.
Yeah, it is.
And so generally speaking, when we see events happen, like, when we're looking at like legacy charts, it's very common for, in a legacy chart, meaning like when someone passes away, it's very common for that chart ruler to either be really strong or really like debilitated. It's usually in a home sign or in a detriment, in an exaltation or in a fall, something, a lot of times. I'm really concerned by his chart ruler being in detriment as far as health.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. that makes sense to me. And
then, Jupiter will be in Gemini until June of 2025. And then it goes to Cancer, it goes to the exaltation. So at least the next couple of years, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is. hold on, where are his?
Oh, you know what? I printed the chart without aspects. Would you like me to pull it up with aspects?
No, I was gonna say that where are the nodes?
Okay. Give me just a second.
Or am I
So
blind? I'm just missing them, which is always possible.
so his north node is you know what? Let me share the chart from here real quick. I think I pulled my astrology class one when you know how you teach astrology, you do it in layers.
Yeah.
So I took off aspects and nodes here. So hold on. It's in Virgo. I'm trying to pull it up.
Which one? The south or the north?
There we go. The north. Can you see that now?
Oh, okay. So that's also in that 10th house.
Yes.
Ah, okay. That's okay. Hmm.
So
Okay. Can you pull those transits back up? I'll remember that it's at 0. They're at 0.
yeah, I'm going to pull them up on my software since I screwed this up. For everyone watching, thank you for your patience. This is just how I do things. I screw things up. Okay, I'm just going to pull it up with today's for now, just to make it quick. There we go.
Okay. I want to see if oh yeah, and that Jupiter is squaring them, the transit Jupiter. Yeah.
And Jupiter happens to be on Saturn for him too. You know, it's creeping up there. That's not necessarily a negative transit, but it does, you know, when you have a planet like Saturn that wants to work really hard, that, you know, wants to kind of keep the leadership or authority, you know, Jupiter tends to balance it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, you know, any, I mean, I just did a little love letter to Saturn video. I'm talking about all the positive things, okay? Because there's a lot of positive about Saturn, I
think. Of course.
But here, I mean, there is obviously, you know, a challenging thing to Saturn. You're talking about limitations, restrictions, all that, and that Jupiter could also kind of amplify any restrictions he has or any limitations he has.
Yeah.
You know, especially in the realm of, we're talking about Gemini, in the realm of thinking and communicating, and you know what I mean?
100%.
So yeah.
And he also has the Mars opposition going on, which happens every couple and a half years. But still.
Yeah, still.
You know, so here's the question, you know, is this a temporary blip, or are we seeing?
I don't think this is temporary.
Yeah, I don't either.
I wish it was, but I don't think it is.
I think we're at least looking at, because of the chart ruler issue alone, just Jupiter being in Gemini, I for him, I feel like we're at least looking at something that's going to last up to a year or so or more.
Yeah. And it's not a good year for that. You know what I mean? Like you know, if this wasn't, I mean, not the, if it wasn't an election year, it might not be as.
Yeah. There's something else going on too here. Saturn and Pisces over his 4th house.
Yeah.
Guy's dealing with endings of some sorts. Could be career, could be, you know, could be many things, but
yeah. Dissolving. That's what I think Saturn and Pisces does. Solve structures.
Yeah.
This might not be a bad thing for everybody. It might, you know, but yeah.
So as of this morning, he's kind of digging his heels in, saying he's not going to be resigning. Because I know a lot of, if you watched the news last night,
yeah,
a lot of the news anchors were getting calls from Congress people and campaign people who were really wanting to call for an open convention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is sad, but I mean, it really is like, Houston, we have a problem. Like, we have a problem here.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just gonna pop over to his zodiacal releasing real quick if we can look at that real quick. Because let's kind of see where he's at with the whole timing of stuff. All right, can we see that? Yeah. Okay. So he just left that loosing of the bond.
okay.
So it was going on from April 2023 to April 2024. And that's indicating like a change is happening. I'm going from memory, but like in royalty, I'm not like a big royalist, but like King Philip, King Consort Philip, whatever, Queen Elizabeth's husband.
Yeah.
When he got to the point where he had to step down officially from duties, he went through a loosing of the bond, and it was 2 or 3 months later he actually stepped down from royal duties, and then I feel like he passed away just a few months later. But just showing like a loosing of the bond can happen, and then within a few months there can be career changes or life path changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're seeing he's just left this period, and it's kind of like what's happening for him next. He's in a
Where
Aries.
is it on? Where is it on here? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Where are we?
We're right here where it says Aries, April 3rd.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I was like, what am I looking at?
Yeah, so this is
Yeah.
where we see the asterisk was where there was a loosing of the bond.
Okay, gotcha. Right.
And now he's in this new Aries period, which would be his fifth house, whole sign wise. And so there's something about either taking risks, self-expression, kind of the energy he's in now.
Becoming, well, okay. Fifth house, childlike.
Could be.
I mean, as people's minds generate, they become more childlike again. That's a dark take on the childlike thing, but
It kind of goes back to it. Yeah, it's
we go back.
and that loosing of the bond was in a Pisces, fourth house period too. So that does also indicate an ending of some sorts. I don't know. Donald Trump had a loosing of the bond he went through right before the 2020 election.
Okay.
And it ended it for him, right? So it's like,
yeah, and here, let me see. He's got the ruler of his fourth house, both rulers in what I consider to be the legacy houses. The Jupiter in the 8th, Neptune in the 11th. I consider those to be the legacy houses in different ways, but there's something about that stands out. Kind of gives even more something or another to that idea of endings.
Yeah. Do we want to look at his solar arcs?
Sure.
Okay. Brought to you by Ellie. She pulled these charts. Let me see. I think it's this one. I'll make it bigger for everyone to see here. Okay, it's a little fuzzy, but
Oh, wait. I don't think that's it. That's true.
Oh, is that the one I sent you?
I think so.
Hold on. Okay, I stopped the recording for a minute. Yeah, it was an emergency episode, so I don't have all my stuff together like I thought. All right, here we go. Brought to you by Ellie, Joe Biden, the solar arcs. Back to what we were saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Take it out.
So yeah, okay. So we have solar arc Chiron at 21 degrees, 49 minutes of Scorpio. His Mercury is at 21 degrees, 32 minutes of Scorpio. They are, I mean, Chiron, solar arc Chiron is separating from it now, but it has been conjunct it. Like exactly, I think it was exactly conjunct. I want to say it was in March.
Okay.
Might have been in March. That to me is the decline. That very much signifies that decline. It's like and the decline in watching it is like a literal seeing a literal interpretation of this. I'm wondering though, with this in his 12th house, if he sees it.
I doubt it, because 12th house are things that are hidden from us.
I'm not sure that he does.
Which makes it more sad, you know. It
does. As a 12th housey person myself, I get it. Like not being able, there being things you can't see. But I really hope that somebody, it'll probably take a certain person to do this, to make him see it. And it's not even just, I mean, this is anything with the 12th house. It can be hard for 12th housey people to see their good shit. It can be hard for 12th housey people to see their bad shit. It can be hard for 12th housey people to see all their shit. Here though, I'm not sure he's seeing. I don't think he sees it.
I don't either.
Like somebody that loves him, that he knows loves him, needs to pull him to the side and be like, hey,
this isn't working.
This is not good. This is not good.
Am I seeing right? In about a year and a half-ish, solar arc moon will be on Jupiter?
Yes, you are right. I noticed that too when I pulled it. Yeah. Yes. You're right about that.
Yeah. Okay.
And so really, when I look at solar arcs, I mean, obviously the closer it is to being exact, right? That the more the theory is, more impactful it is. But really what you want to look at is a degree applying and separating. So really by the time that solar arc moon gets to 25 degrees and 8 minutes of Cancer, which will be sooner.
Oh, you mean like when it's let's see, because the Jupiter's at 25 degrees. So maybe like when it gets 24, when it gets within like a degree of it.
Yes.
Okay.
That's when that's when you start feeling these the most. Though I wouldn't rule out, look, I mean, you know, these things, there can also be like waves that are felt beforehand, right? And ripples that are felt after. So I think you could even extend it out to 2 if you wanted to. But I would think the most impactful period is going to be that degree applying and that degree separating.
I would think applying usually is worse than a separation.
Yes, generally speaking. Yeah.
So, okay.
So once that starts hitting that 24 degree 8 minutes, which I don't know exactly when that'll be, maybe in the next 5 months. Which is right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right around election time or right after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's also, was there something else, or did I like make this up? Hold on. I thought there was one other thing. No, maybe not. Maybe I was making. Maybe I'm thinking of the US's.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and look at what's going on with the US's chart to see what's going on there. We'll start with the transit.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So US's chart, and I use the Sibley chart, the Sag rising. It seems to be like in line with what's going on. Yeah. Well, we got the same thing, the chart ruler in detriment transit. Because USA and Joe, both Saggy risings. We got the Pluto swinging back to do
We
another
do.
retrograde, a final retrograde in Cappy.
And then we're about to have Uranus enter Gemini.
Yes.
This is a massive fucking problem. I've been talking about this for years. This is a problem.
This is a problem. And at election time, Mars will be opposing Pluto right before Mars goes into retrograde. Guys,
this election really does. I'm kind of smiling and laughing about it. It's not funny.
This is a shit show. This is a shit show. It's like, okay, do you remember we weren't recording with each other at the time, but like, do you remember right before January 6th, 2021, we were all watching like Mars and Uranus and like,
yeah,
we were all kind of like, oh, and it was kind of like this joke because everyone's like, oh, now the election's over, things will calm down. And us astrologers are like,
it's like, lol, so. No.
And then that happened. These are worse transits.
Yeah, they are. It's like this one is concerning to me, and
this is where the transits were last night. But we're talking about like when the election comes, Mars is going to be up in the Leo area. Pluto is back, swinging back.
I really feel like no matter who wins here, there are going to be problems.
There are problems, period.
Like no matter who, it's yeah, very, very concerning to me. I'm not trying to be scary or fear mongering, but it is concerning.
It is. It's like, what is this going to look like? With astrology, it's kind of easy to look back and be like, oh yeah, this was this. Looking ahead, we just know something's going on.
We know what energy. Yeah, that's the thing with transits. You know what energy is going to be coming up. You don't know exactly how it's going to manifest. Yeah. Right? Yeah, that's a hard thing. The actual, like exactly what's going to happen. Like you're looking at transits and, maybe it looks like somebody's going to enter a relationship, but it could also be something else, Just talking about what energy is there, I think is what matters the most. But I mean, knowing what we know, knowing that the US is having an election, and then this fucking shit's going on, that,
Yeah. My software is stalling up, but I was actually going to pull up the North Node and all that too on the US chart. Because the US, its North Node is going to be, hold on.
Sorry, that had nothing to do with this, but
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So the North Node and the US chart is in Leo.
Oh yeah, that's right. Pluto's inching closer to the South Node.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Mars is coming up around that too. So do we know what the event will be? No, but we do know like Pluto and Mars tends to be intense, sometimes violent, sometimes it deals with anger and aggression and action.
Yeah. You'll have, and it's like kind of like the higher and lower octaves of one another.
Exactly.
Feeding off of one another. Yeah.
With seeing this, so far, looking at Biden stuff, looking at USA transit, we're looking at, to me, this screams protesting the whole Mars, Pluto, or at least getting out there and voicing some strong opinions and strong feelings.
Which is realistically, we'll see regardless of who wins, we will see that happen. Like, because you already have those fucking people that are for And I mean fucking people. I don't mean, I mean like, the more hateful ones.
Yeah.
I don't even want to name them.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I don't even, I think y'all know who I mean. They've already talked about doing some kind of revolting or whatever the hell it is that I don't know. I don't even really pay that much attention.
Well, if you watched the debate last night, there was Joe Biden and the other guy. The other guy said that he would only accept the election results if it was fair. So he's already putting out there, the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that there are people that, are for him that have already kind of claimed that they would revolt or whatever the fuck they do if he didn't win. And I think if he does win, there will be protesting on that end too. Regardless, we're gonna see this.
Regardless, someone's not happy. And so does this point towards a Biden-Trump election, or does this point towards someone else?
I hope that it points towards a Vermin Supreme election.
I think that's exactly what it's saying.
I think that's what it should point to. Because that would be bitchin'. Sorry.
That would be.
Yeah,
so let's kind of play with a theory here. If
Vermin Supreme?
Oh, no. I'm just talking about like the US's chart with transits. If we were looking at an open convention happening, what kind of transits would you expect to see and where on a US chart? Like, I know I'm putting you on spot. I'm just thinking out loud myself. I'm like, what would I kind of expect to see? Something with Uranus, maybe?
Maybe. The 11th house. Except with the 11th house. So in the US,
South Node is like pretty close to Saturn.
It is. And also let's also think about okay, so the 11th house in the US chart is Libra. So we might also want to bring Venus into play here as well.
I think that's appropriate. Yeah.
Either in transit or in the natal chart. See, in the natal chart, it's in the 8th in Cancer.
It's in Cancer as of today.
Okay. When is it gonna be when is it gonna be in Libra?
So Venus, let me look at my search, will be in Libra August 29th, 2024.
Okay. I knew it was sometime towards the fall. I just didn't know when exactly. Okay. Maybe.
Gosh, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But seeing how much of a shit show the election's gonna be astrologically makes me think we're dealing with the same candidates.
You think they're both gonna? It didn't look like either one of them are gonna win, though.
I know, that's the weird thing. I don't get that, but what would cause such a strong reaction? Well, just one person losing would.
Yeah. It would.
I still don't see any of them winning. I know. I keep coming back. Like, I'm not seeing it.
It just didn't seem like it when we looked at it. It really didn't. Now, Harris, I don't remember exactly what it was, but her stuff seemed like lit up. I don't think she wants it though.
And she was in fix-it mode last night because she went on some programs and she didn't take questions, I noticed, but she what do you call that? Like she was really supporting Biden.
Yeah.
Of course, Let me pull her chart up. Let's see what's going on with her. Okay, so here's Kamala and what's going on right now.
Oh, she's got Uranus right on Jupiter. stands out.
Yep.
Like,
and Jupiter's entered her first house, which is pretty good for identity. And, she's kind of been, I feel like she's been hidden the last few years. There was talk last night that it was kind of speculated that the Biden administration didn't want to really be outshined. I don't know.
Wait, say that one more time. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the chart.
That's right. That there was some talk when I was watching the news last night. Some anchors were saying that there's talk that the Biden administration kind of kept her kind of hidden because they didn't want her outshining them. I don't know. That's just repeating what I heard, but they sure put her on the screen last night though after the debate.
Like, go do damage control.
Exactly.
That's interesting. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out as possibly being a thing, especially since in the last election, I mean, they were, before she was his running mate, they were debating one another.
Now here's what we got going on for her. Let me show you her zodiacal releasing.
She also, isn't it around, or I might be getting my dates fucked up, around election time when that Jupiter, no, that might not be until next year. Never mind.
So right now, zodiacal releasing, we're looking at this November 10th, 2023. She entered a peak period in the Gemini,
where
period.
Her North Node is, right?
Yeah. So and this lasts till July of 2025. So that's the weird thing here. Like, if we're looking at Biden being a one-term president, it's kind of wouldn't be very positive for her. I wouldn't think, but sometimes when you get out of office, you find there's other things you can do that you were limited to when you're in office. But yeah, I'll pull her chart back up here too. But yeah, so she's in a peak period. So something fortunate is working out for her for the next, at least right now, another year, Yeah, so her North Node's Gemini. This is the peak period she's in right now. And she's got Jupiter with it too. I mean, something's going well for her.
Yeah, it seems like it.
But when there's talk about open conventions, I'm not quite hearing her name. I'm hearing Gavin Newsom. And
yeah, I've seen his name tossed around. Oh, yeah. So I don't think she wants it.
I think we brought that up last time.
I don't think she does.
I mean, I think that's why we're in the situation we're in. There's very many people who want this.
I don't blame them. Want it either.
I mean, yeah. I do want to pull up the US solar arcs because I know you pulled this up. I want to see what's going on here.
So something that stands out to me is that solar arc Mars is right up the US's natal chart moon's ass.
It's on it.
Yeah, they're both at 27. That solar arc Mars is at 2745. The US's natal moon is at 2710. So it was just exactly conjunct maybe 5 months ago. Something like that. Somewhere between 4 and 6 months ago. So that, I mean,
and Saturn is on Mars. Am I seeing that?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, Saturn is at 21, Gemini 11, and then that Mars is at 21, 23 Gemini. So it's still applying.
That seems intense.
It does. It's a period of time where essentially the US feels like what it wants to do is perhaps restricted in some way. It's really, I'd like to think it's maturing what we want to do, but I'm not sure that it's going that way.
I don't think so.
I would like to think that it is.
I mean, Saturn, you have maturing or you have obstacles, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that Mars, that Mars is it's the ruler of the fourth house. It's also the ruler of the 12th. So, with it being the ruler of the 12th, it does kind of, and the 12th is the house. Well, 12th house is a lot of things, but hidden enemies is one of them. Then we have the 7th house, open enemies. There is something here about like hidden enemies becoming open enemies.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about that.
Yeah.
There's something about that here. Though that part doesn't feel restricted. It feels like that's maybe what's maturing, which is fucked up, but it's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
That south node, the solar arc south node, is also on. Oh, okay. So solar arc south node is at 12, Libra 58. Oh, wait, no, it's not yet. Almost. That solar arc south node is getting closer, like in about a little under a year. It'll be within a degree of that Saturn.
So not only by just current transits do we see things shaken up in the US, the solar arcs. I mean, how many times do you pull a chart and get that many like contacts going on with solar arcs? It just definitely paints a picture.
It really does. It really does. Let me see something real quick. That is where is the solar arc? Ascendant is there. So where's descendant? I like to see, I didn't look and see what the angles were doing.
Yeah.
So solar arc midheaven is within 5 years will be conjunct the descendant. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's still a ways, but that is kind of weird. I don't know. There's something about that's like, I don't know, perhaps the things this country wants to ignore will not be able to be ignored anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, did you just pull some cards?
I did. I wanted to pull a card.
What'd you pull?
I got the 9 of Cups, which is a very positive card, but I pulled it with who does the winner look like? And you got like a kind of a pudgy guy up sitting here.
So what is that?
I don't know. Okay, I'm going to make a prediction because I know you got to go soon.
What time is it?
It is 2:24 Central Time.
Ooh, I don't even know. I don't even.
We're all having fun with astrology. Based on the astrology, my prediction, I don't think, and this, I want to say this before I say it, still go out and vote, because I mean, the last thing I want to do is put what I think of people like, well, I'm not going to vote because Brandy said,
yeah, wrong, absolutely. But yeah.
I don't see Joe Biden winning. I don't see him. I know I'm kind of back and forth when we're discussing, but I don't see him. When I say making it, I mean like being in office. I don't see him making it to the election. And I see Kamala in a peak. I'm still going with, and I've said it before, I think there's a very high chance Kamala could be president by default, by either Biden stepping down, whether that means he's just stepping down or he can't perform duties, I don't know, and her automatically being sworn in.
Mm-hmm.
I see that I keep seeing that happening, according to the astrology, but
Do you think she would run though in that case?
I think she
If
would
that
not have to, but I think she would have to. I think it's like kind of taking the torch and like, okay, like, you know, like, especially this close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, from the time Biden won and was sworn in, and I was looking at like all these zodiacal releasings, I mean, I was like, I just feel like she's going to automatically be president somehow. But I could be wrong. But
Well, it doesn't. It certainly, yeah, and I don't. Yeah, I could see that.
no pressure. You don't have to. Do you want to make a prediction?
Hold on to your ass. Um, um, my prediction isn't so much who wins.
Yeah.
It's really like buckle up either way.
Exactly.
It really feels like that. I suppose like it's I don't get concerned about much. Like I really don't.
You're such a saggy.
Yes. I really don't. There's not much that concerns me. I kind of have this motto of wait to worry. This is, I really, really do. Because worrying does very little, I find.
Yeah.
But this, I won't say it worries me because that might be a little bit dramatic, but there are things coming up that are concerning.
100%. And I think what we're seeing today in June 28th is not what we're going to be dealing with. There's changes to come is what it really feels like.
I don't with them, I don't really see either of them. I still stand with what we said before. I really don't see either of them winning. The other guy and Biden. I don't.
And there's one other thing I'll say, real quick, and we didn't pull it up in the charts, but we had the Aries eclipse in April, conjunct Chiron.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the Chiron eclipse happening in Aries. That did happen in 1968 when it was a little earlier on, but like when the presidential candidates were pretty much selected and then things changed who was running. Robert Kennedy was expected to be the Democratic nominee and ended up, he was assassinated. And so I think I'm not saying anyone's going to be assassinated. It's not what I'm saying, but it does show some major change ups and that things can absolutely change. And the fact that we had that going on again this year, it just really makes me think a lot of things are possible here.
Yeah. That the echoes from the past, the things that have happened before. I mean, yeah, it all comes back around.
Yeah.
Different ways.
Yeah.
There are definitely themes that come back around.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting to see how all of this unfolds. I really hate that I can't sit back with popcorn and watch this unfold like I want to. I want to treat this like the Real Housewives or something.
Yeah, just sit back. No, instead we're like, oh my God, what can I look? But
yeah. I mean, for real, this is like reality TV for me. I would treat it like watching a Bravo show. And I can't do it this time, and I'm kind of annoyed about that.
Yeah, I enjoy election coverage. I don't enjoy it this year. I'm like,
no, this is not entertaining. This is not funny. This is not.
No. Well, thank you for everyone watching and joining us in the discussions. We're pulling up charts and just discussing back and forth while we're recording. And so it's kind of fun, kind of going back and forth with what we think. But Ellie, please let everyone know where they can find you.
You can find me on my website at SaturnSeason.com, on Instagram at Saturn Season Astrology, and on YouTube at Saturn Season Astrology. And Brandy, I know. Where can we find you?
Well, you can find me at brandyburrowastrology.com and Brandy Burrow Astrology everywhere else, YouTube, Instagram. You might see Brandy Burrow Astrology and Tarot. Sometimes I throw in the tarot word. But yeah, so thanks everyone for watching. Let us know your thoughts, what you're seeing in the charts. Not so much political views, but let us know what you see in the astrology, and we'll keep watching. Bye everyone.